Buenos días, buenas tardes, and buenas noches. Welcome to Business Matters with Laura Nowlan podcast. Make sure that you click below so you can follow us. And our shows are never scripted. We speak from the heart and we shoot from the hip. And so today I have a guest here, my friend Joseph, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how he got here to Vegas, where you come from, what is it that you do, and how can we help you? It's all you, buddy.
Wow. Thank you so much. Appreciate being here. I'm Joseph Charafi. I am president of Stop the Traffic Foundation. We're geared towards ending child trafficking and exploitation and child prostitution in Las Vegas and Nevada, and hopefully the West Coast and hopefully the world, starting in the U.S. And I got here. I was born in Denver, moved here when I was 5, and grew up here, went to college out in Colorado for a couple years, then transferred out to California, and then moved back here in like 2013. So I've been here ever since. I've got a 14-year-old son, Lucas. I am a Christian. I go to church every Sunday, and I got my Bible with me actually here. And I did a feature film movie called Stop the Traffic Foundation, or Stop the Traffic, or no, sorry. We did a movie called Vegas Traffic, which led to making the foundation called Stop the Traffic Foundation. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And so here in Vegas, what did you actually then study? Because you went to Colorado and you were studying there. What did you study? What did you end up majoring in?
So digital film and video production. So that's a bachelor's of science and technology, and then a minor in communication. So marketing
And so what you studied, you're actually using.
Yes, it's a passion of mine.
Right.
I really do love the filmmaking art form and digital video. It's a really great way to be able to get communication and correspondence and messaging out through people. And I think the enemy has his way of using that tool. And so I think it's really an honor to be able to for Christ, be able to use it to push the endeavor of the kingdom here on earth.
And so what made you really be passionate? Because, I mean, it's a huge problem. Sex trafficking is, I think, what are we, number 1?
Depending on who you ask. Number 2, though, is the numbers that we have.
Yeah, we're fighting for that first and second position, just like we are with education, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like we're 49th in public education, 48th, 49th, and we're like first, second in exploitation. So, I mean, it's like just there's some weird off numbering. Like
right?
We've got the lowest education rates and then the highest trafficking rates. Like there's something really weird going on there.
And by the way, we're referring to Las Vegas, Nevada. That's the city and the state that we both live in. And so what made you really get involved with even starting the nonprofit? I know you mentioned a little because you started the film, but what made you be so passionate about, what touched you personally?
Well, my son was taken illegally from the state and was moved to Arizona from his other parent, and we had to go through some court hearings, and she was forced to bring him back. But during that 2 to 3 month time span, it was really rough for me because I had spent so much time with him, pretty much, daily with him, and then have that taken away was, illegally when I didn't do anything wrong, was pretty harsh. So, and there's really nothing you can do. You can't go forcefully take him back, which is crazy. You can't have a cop go there and take it back. All they can do is just do like a wellness check. And I may get a little bit blowback from my son's parent on this, but you shouldn't have done it. And I'm just telling my truth. It is what it is. And she's very respectful now. I've got to give her due. She's changed a lot in that regard. People make mistakes, and so I don't hold that against her, and I respect her a lot, and she's a good mom. So I just want to put that out there, because every time I put it out there, she sees it and she blows me up. But it's the truth. And so during those 2 to 3 months when I was going to support groups, and during that time I met people who had their children taken from them in schemes or from the other parent and went to a different country, and they aren't able to see their kids, or the parent turned the kid against them, and so now they think they're a bad person. So it's just a lot of messed up stuff that's out there. And so I was like, man, some of these people aren't even gonna be able to see their kids again at all.
Ever.
And so I did a lot of research and read a lot of books and just saw documentaries. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that it was like this. And then I saw a movie called Sound of Freedom, and it really blew my mind away of like what exactly you could be doing, and what schemes they can do in order to steal children, in order to get them to have their children and use them for exploitation. And so that really opened my eyes. I was ready to make a feature film, a narrative feature film, and I just didn't know what the subject matter was going to be. And once this kind of landed on my lap and I did the research, I felt like this was what it was going to be about. So I kind of used my love for filmmaking and like action crime movies, kind of like Lethal Weapon, Training Day, Die Hard, that kind of stuff, because I really believe, like, I love movies, right? And so if I'm going to make a movie, it's not just going to be like, oh, I'm making a movie. Like, it's got to be awesome. And so I'm really proud of this movie. It's still in film festivals, so nobody can really watch it yet unless you go to a film festival. But it'll probably be out like next year on like Amazon or Netflix or Apple TV or something like that. And so that got me really excited and interested in doing something real instead of just making a movie, right? Yeah. It was like, what can we do to actually make a difference? And so we decided that we were going to make a foundation, official 501c3, and it was more not just about raising awareness and raising donations. It was about actually like having practical initiatives that we can actually do to help kids who are in critical situations here in Las Vegas, and hopefully eventually Nevada, and eventually the West Coast, then eventually the whole United States, and then the world.
Do you happen to know what age group it is? Like where are we seeing the most activity in sex trafficking?
Yeah, so it's mostly 11-year-old to 14-year-old African-American girls. And then the second is the same age range, Hispanics. And then the third is the same age range, Asians.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Absolutely
horrible. It's such a money-making industry. Because you can continue selling the girls or even the boys more than once. So they're actually making more money off this than they are selling illegal drugs.
Yeah, that's
very sad.
One of the major things that a lot of activists point out is that drug dealers can only make so much off of one because they can sell it once, and maybe even the person dies from doing a drug overdose. But these children, you can make up to what has been projected $250,000 per person a year. Because they can sell them over and over and over. And in some cases, they'll put, these kids in windowless cells in basements, and they'll get raped like 30 times a day.
It's just so sad and disgusting.
Well, somebody needs to be there in order to help get them out. And so that's what our mission is, to try to help VICE, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the VICE department, and also become one of those resources where we can get tips, we can get leads, we can help get these kids out using, military or police force.
Where or how can someone reach out to you if they if they need help, right?
Mm-hmm. Instagram, our website. Mm-hmm. They can reach out, stopthetrafficfoundation.org, or they can follow us on socials at Stop the Traffic Foundation.
And how could someone out there help? Like, where are your biggest needs right now? Are you needing volunteers? Are you trying to raise money? Are you working maybe on a project of some sort? How can anybody who's listening help your organization? And then another question that I have is, how is it that you're able to help the victims?
So the main way that people can help is first by praying. We need people to intercessorily prayer.
Yes.
Like we have a lot of spiritual attacks happening on us because we are actually going against the enemy.
Yes.
All of our board members are all Christian men. And so we're all based on scripture. We're following Christ. And the devil knows that we're making a move. And so we've all had a number of spiritual attacks on us. So we just would love intercessory prayer for spiritual warfare and protection and covering, but also that favor, so that we can have doors open for us. because there is a lot of trafficking at all, I'll put it this way, a lot of different levels of the totem. And so you just never know who you're trying to go to get help. And there's a door closed in your face, and you're trying to figure out why wouldn't they want to help? Well, it's possible because maybe they're implicated in some fashion, or they just don't want to touch that, or because they're fearful or whatever. So help that we can get doors that open for resources that people would allow us to help. There's one specifically that we've been trying to get in for a while called the Safe Place. And that's with the Nevada Youth of the Nevada Youth Homeless League, and we really need help with getting into their team.
Okay.
I'm just going to be honest. There's so much, like with nonprofits who say that they do trafficking, anti-trafficking, there's so little camaraderie between the teams. It's like there's territory, like they're fighting over grants, or they're fighting over investors, and so they don't want to bring any more teams in, or they think you're grifting, or trying to make sort of a profit off of it. But we really just want to help, and we want to provide resources, and we've got plans, and we've got initiatives that can actually help. We just need people to hear us out, and some of these people won't even hear us out, and it's very weird. It's very disconcerting. And especially when it comes to certain initiatives, when it feels like their initiatives have been failing, or they've been waning since the 90s, when this initiative Safe Place was been around for a while, and like it's a national organization that started in the Midwest. And when I was in high school here in elementary school, I saw commercials. I was aware of what the Safe Place was, and now it's kind of people know what it is. They've seen it around, but we want to try to help reinvigorate it. We want to try to help bring more businesses to it. We want to try to help make it bigger. And we feel like we be getting this weird pushback, like stay out of our lane sort of situation. And we get that you need to be protective because you're trying to save children. You're trying to keep teens protective. At least give us a meeting. At least vet us. At least hear us out. You know what I mean? And we've just gotten so much weird pushback. So we just prayer in that regard, or people who have resources in this regard, we would love to be able to chat and help, and vet us. We're open books. We got nothing to hide. We put all of our financials out there for everybody to see. It's we're not making money off of this. We're trying to help children stop getting raped, plain and simple. And I know that's not a polite dinner talk, but somebody needs to be out there that actually says what it is, because there's so much out there that they're afraid to talk about it. How many times have I spoke with political candidates and political advisors, conservative political advisors, who say you can't win on a platform of child safety? And I'm like, you're I think you're deceived. I think you're wrong. Or maybe they've just been too afraid to run on that. But I think we need more candidates out there who are willing to step up and run on that platform of child safety, especially in a city that has the highest rates in the nation.
Yes.
That's a nonpartisan issue, in my opinion. And then we obviously could use donors. Obviously, that always helps the initiative. We're having a care convention, care conference is what we're calling it. Okay. It's the first that we're ever having. It's not a gala, but it is kind of in that vein. Okay. But we're more using it as to equip people in the community of what is satanic ritual abuse. If you've never heard that, you should look that up. That's a key word for today. DID, dissociative identity disorder. It's a way that they control these people. Spiritual warfare. Also, how can you be aware of how somebody's getting trafficked? What can you do in order to help prevent it? What can you do to help? What are the signs that you can do? So we're really using this to equip people. It's like a training, but we're going to have pastors. We're going to have community leaders. We're going to have human trafficking advocates there. So that's going to be at Peaceway Christian Center, December 6th, starting 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And so that is going to be super amazing. We'd love for people to come out. We are a 501c3, so any donations that you make are all tax exempt, and we can give you receipts on all that. So that's a super helpful way. But we're also looking for advocates, people who... Now, we don't just let anybody in, because trafficking organizations tend to attract people who exploit children. So just putting that out there, if you do want to be a part of our team, you will be vetted deeply because we don't just allow anybody who's like, I want to help the children.
Right.
Sorry, everybody's going to have to go through a vetting process, especially if you're planning on working with kids. And then how can we help? A lot of ways that we help is in like the critical situation. So a lot of it is awareness. First part is awareness. We have 3 parts of initiatives. One is awareness. That's where we go and teach people, and we give people education, and we allow them to become ambassadors in sort of a fashion. The second is pulling kids out of critical situations. So we depend on organizations like Free International, who team up with Vice, because Las Vegas Metropolitan Vice Police, they're the head. They're the ones that are handling all. They handle homicide, they handle trafficking situations, pandering, child exploitation. So they're the ones that really need to go in to do the heavy lifting. We can't, as a private organization, nonprofit, we can't really break into somebody's house at gunpoint and pull kids out. So what we can do is we can help support them in what they need. So if we can help give them the resources of where they need to go, help find housing for these kids, have resources such as like hygienic resources or blankets or clothes or shoes, anything like this. But also the best part is the restorative. So we can help get them into organizations that help with you tell her, help with not just secular therapy, but also faith-based therapy, right? Because when you get into SRA, satanic ritual abuse, this is a whole different type of trafficking and abuse than it is normal, quote unquote, normal abuse. Some of these people are read the gospel while they're getting abused. They'll have somebody like dressed up like Jesus reading the gospel while they're being sexually abused.
Isn't that sick? Absolutely sick.
It's degradation on its highest level. And so these kids need a lot more than a 3 to 6 month turnaround rate. So there's places out here that we can help get them into. We're also trying to build a whole community of where we're able to connect them with vetted, accountable housing with faith-based therapy as well as secular, because we know that they have to choose the faith based. Right. We can't force it on them. So they have to be able to choose it, but we want to be able to make it an option. So these are some of the best ways is help get these kids out of the satanic ritual area and into Christ and replacing it with Christ. And so that's a big part of it. Even though we aren't a faith-based organization, technically.
You're not.
Not technically, not on the IRS type, but we are all strong Christians, and we do follow Jesus, but just our IRS tax code is we're not a church or anything.
Right, you're not a church. And so we still have, all this sex trafficking is pretty much slavery. We're still not out of slavery.
It is slavery.
It has a different name now.
I mean, I don't like to use the word pimp because it's glorified in modern entertainment and like kids like, I like to be called that or whatever. But really, they're slave owners. They're traffickers. They are pimps. That's technically the term that they've used for a long time, but they're traffickers. They're slave owners.
Absolutely disgusting. And so what's a phone number that someone can call you at to get a hold of you if they want to meet with you and see if they're able to move forward either as a volunteer or as a donor?
So we don't
would
really
you prefer just go to the website?
Yeah, so we actually don't have a phone number specifically. Okay. If there is an emergency, we always suggest they call 911. There is a national hotline. However, we actually don't suggest to call that first. We actually suggest to call 911 because the hotlines can be misleading. They're okay for a certain type of help, but there's been some weird stuff going on with the hotline sort of situation. So there is a national child trafficking hotline support, but we suggest calling 911 if there's an issue. However, if you'd like us to, come out and maybe train your organization on how to look for trafficking, how to keep your company accountable and updated, or maybe if you want to be a part of our Safe Haven initiative, which is we're hoping to partner with the Safe Place, but we're kind of creating our own database of businesses that want to become a safe haven for children who are between like 9 and 17 is kind of the range that we're trying to hit. Okay. And all you have to do is provide a chair for the kid and then a phone and be able to text the number of the safe place. And they will send out a counselor that would be able to help. So inadvertently, we kind of become like a partner of them, even though they don't.
Nice.
They're not allowing us to, or not that they're allowing us to. I guess they're just really busy. We'll say that.
In closing, Joseph, what else would you like our audience to know? What else would you like to share?
Jesus is king.
Yes, he is. Amen.
I know you might not like that. I know some people might be secular, but I'm just going to use this platform to tell you a little bit of my story. Is that, I came from a background that I had an abusive background from one of my parents, and it led me down a road of drug abuse early in my life. Jesus got a hold of my heart and saved me. Really turned my life around, and he can turn your life around too if you give your life to him. And it's no joke. He is seriously the most powerful energy in the whole world, which is love. And the devil has come to steal and destroy and lie. And if you have problems in your life, try going to Jesus. And just if you take one step towards Jesus, he'll take 5 giant steps towards you. And I've seen it in my own life. And I'll tell you this, kids, they don't have the time for us to wait. They don't. And so if you really do believe in God, if you do believe in Jesus, step up, learn how you can do something in order to help protect these children, because they really are our future. And it just seems like the school system and our system is trying to set them up to become prostitutes. And we can't have that. We need people to stand up, be strong in faith, in Jesus, in order to beat this enemy back.
Amen. And so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to my company, CS Now Staffing, at 702-902-2448. And if you just want someone to pray for you, feel free to reach out. God bless.